again. This is Gina from hauntedflower.com and hauntedflowerreviews.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Sitter, Blu-ray plus DVD plus digital copy, A Lonely Place to Die on Blu-ray, and Roadie on DVD. I have recently watched 21 Jump Street, as you know, because I reviewed it, and I did not watch The Sitter when it was out in theaters because from the trailer, I thought it looked horrible. For some reason, I thought the phone call joke was funny. It really doesn't work well when you watch it in the constraints of the movie. Jonah Hill plays this slacker guy who ends up babysitting 3 kids one night because he's trying to help out his mom so she can meet a man, and he loves his mom. That's sweet. 3 kids are hellions. One of them thinks she's a miniature Paris Hilton or something. Another one is... It becomes really obvious what he is, but let's just say he dresses really cleanly and is nervous around girls. Third one is some sort of Latino mobster. I don't understand how or why he's really in the family. He's just weird. They're very rambunctious and get into a lot of trouble because setting bombs off in bathrooms is a normal thing to do. And let's just say Jonah Hill isn't a peach either because his character is just spending most of the movie trying to get with his girlfriend, who really doesn't care about him at all. He somehow gets wrapped up into having a drug dealer after him through a lot of mistakes. That all being said, there were some times in this movie that I laughed. Some. I have to say the highlight of this movie would actually be the little girl. She really walked the line well between being this extreme character and still sometimes being cute or believable as a person. Her brother did okay with that too, but there's just no hope for the Latino mobster kid. You can rent it if you want to, but I'm not going to recommend it. This is the totally irresponsible edition that has an unrated version of the movie. Since I didn't see it in the first place, I can't really tell you what's new. Let's just assume that it's like dirtier than before or something. There are deleted scenes and extended scenes and an alternate ending, which I didn't care for in the least. It was too long. There's a gag reel, which, you know, involves people flubbing their lines and laughing at Jonah Hill. Sits and Giggles, another giggling thing. For Your Consideration, a little feature with the kids. The Making of The Sitter, obviously. And Jonah, the producer. Everybody talks about what it's like to work with Jonah Hill and what he's like as a producer, and how every time somebody rapped, he would go up to them and say that they were fired because it's more amusing that way. This is A Lonely Place to Die. I thought this could possibly be interesting because it stars Melissa George, amongst a bunch of other cast members that I don't really care about. This is a mountain climbing film, so I thought right away that would freak me out because I have heights issues. And sure enough, you know, things go wrong with the climbing. But even more so, it's a big problem when they find a little girl buried in a box in the ground. And then people are after them, running through the woods. There are mobsters and all sorts of things. And it gets very complicated very fast. And I was actually a little disappointed. I think this movie tried to do too much. I think just being out there in the elements alone is one big factor you could overcome and what you usually strive for in these types of movies. And this added in like 2, 3 other groups chasing and this little girl, and there's just too much going on. It seemed like they gave up on the climbing too quick. The last third of the movie takes place in a city. It just really wasn't that scary. I mean, there's just like one cool scene where there's climbing, and then everything else is like, let's worry about this little girl we just met even though everyone else around us is dying! The special feature is a trailer. Who cares? I was really disappointed. I think there are a lot better other climbing movies out there. Apparently Harley would like to join me for the last review, so let's have at it. The last one is for Roadie on DVD. This one has a premise we've probably heard before, but, you know, told in a slightly different way. It stars Ron Eldard and Bobby Cannavale and Jill Hennessy, whom you might remember from Law & Order a long time ago. Basically, this dude has been on the road with Blue Oyster Cult for years and years and years and years as their roadie. However, he gets a little delusional after he gets fired and has to go back home and hang out with his mom, who is the grandma from True Blood, and he kind of starts making up lies about his life because he's a little bit ashamed that he didn't accomplish very much, especially now that it's over. He's telling people he was their manager, and he's their writer and producer, and he performs on stage with a band. It just gets more extreme as time goes on. But the problem is that he runs into the girl he used to love back in high school, and she married the guy who used to bully him, whom he hates, his arch-rival nemesis, jerk. Obviously, the love triangle gets a little heated because they keep insisting on hanging out and drinking while hanging out, which never leads to anything good. And sure enough, you know, by the end of the movie, he's going to have to come to grips with reality a little bit. On the way, though, it's a little sad, a little heartbreaking, and he gets a little whiny. For special features, you just have HDNet, a look at Roadie, and a photo gallery. If you really like these kind of behind-the-band stories or stories of artists making it and coming back or whatever, this isn't quite one of those because this poor guy was just a roadie. He was around the fame, but he was never really part of it, and it's just sad. So out of the titles in this video, I guess you could rent The Sitter, but that's totally up to you. I would not force that upon you. Thank you for watching my review, and hearty shush, bye-bye!
If you like this review, go to my site at hauntedflowerreviews.com. I also have a podcast on iTunes. Please leave me ratings and comments. Also, we have a store, hauntedflower.com, where you can find the best online apparel and accessories from movies, TV shows, anime, and more. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/hauntedflower, and that's where we have all of our contests too, so you can win free stuff. Go to indiemojo.com if you live in Indianapolis, and you can find out how to go to free movies.